Is that mold? Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. The organisation system, as you can see, has just gone completely out the window. Oh, I forgot to top up my lipstick after eating my lunch. 1 second. Okay, that's better. Hello, so I know that this is not my usual background. That looks a bit messed up because I'm not going to be staying on this bed. So if you watched my video where I did a mukbang in my car eating McDonald's and answering your questions, if you haven't seen that video, I said in that I'm actually moving out soon. I might do a whole video answering your questions about it, but I might do that on my vlog channel. I don't have a set moving in date yet, but you know, things are in the works and it should be within the next month or two, fingers crossed. I've got a lot of stuff to sort. Basically, I have to dismantle my whole life from the past 22, nearly 23 years and break it down, get rid of a load of stuff and move it into a new house. And there is no way that I'm going to be able to take all of my makeup with me because half of it I don't even wear anyway. So I thought I would start another decluttering series. This is going to be part 1. I'm sure there's going to be many different parts to this series, starting off with my makeup. So I'm going to take you to my makeup drawers, which are over here, which are currently a bit of a mess. Obviously, I'm incredibly grateful for all of the makeup that I've got. Like, I'm so lucky, and I know that because I make YouTube videos about makeup. I do get a lot of brands like sending me makeup products and stuff, which is amazing. But a lot of it, like, I feel so bad that it just sits in my drawer and I don't use it because I've only got one face. So what I am going to do is I'm going to put together a big box of the stuff that I don't want. Some of it will be going to charity if it is new and unopened. Some of it will be going in giveaways if it's new and unopened. I've got a whole separate like giveaway box in my brother's room. I will be giving a couple of boxes to a women's refuge that do accept used makeup. They don't accept mascaras or lip glosses, but everything else they do accept. That is called Give and Makeup. If you just type in, I heard about it through Caroline Hirons. If you type in Caroline Hirons Give and Makeup, it should come up on Google, but I will try and remember to leave a link down below. Oh, but if anybody else knows of any places that will accept deliveries of used makeup, please let me know in the comments. That would be super useful. And then also as well, I think I'm going to do a couple of used makeup giveaways on Twitter because some people, when I mentioned it before, actually I've done a couple of those before, people have been interested. But for example, if one of my friends had an eyeshadow palette and they were like, oh, I'm not really going to use this, do you want it? I'd be like, sure. So I don't see what the difference is of like me giving away boxes of makeup. There's literally no difference. Anyway, let me take you over there and let's start this process. Right, so I think what I'm going to do, I've got this big box here which is empty. I'm going to put the stuff that I don't want into this box, and then I think I'm going to try and keep the stuff that I do want just in the drawers because it's easier than getting it all out. I'm going to start with my foundations just because I know there's going to be so many in here that I'm not going to want to keep because they're all the wrong shade. I have got this drawer here and I've got this drawer here. They're all full of foundations, and unfortunately most of these don't actually match me, so I know that I definitely don't want my Fenty one, so that can go in here. This Benefit Hello Happy one is in shade 1. I do actually have one that does match me, so I'm going to get rid of that. Oh, this one matches, so I'm going to keep those. Same with this Light Illusion one, which is by Flower Beauty, I think. Okay, there are actually a couple in here that still match me. It's all good. The Ordinary foundation, I literally used this once in a video, I think. It's still in the box, so that can go. Okay, this one is separated. Oh my god, this is NARS. This will break my heart to get rid of that. You know what? I'm gonna keep it just in case I ever go back to my pale skin tone. The ones that were like expensive and I think are worth keeping just for future, I'm going to hold on to, but the rest are going to have to go. I love this foundation so much, the Urban Decay All Nighter, but again, this is in 0.5, which is too light for me. Well, that doesn't look so great, does it? Can someone tell me, right? I'm assuming that foundations that have separated and makeup that's separated is still fine to use as long as you just shake it up. Is that right? Well, I don't need that one anymore. I don't even remember that I had this, the NARS Sheer Glow foundation. I didn't even know that I owned that, but it's the wrong colour. That is really, really sad. Okay, it turns out that at the back of my drawer, I've actually got a few different shades that were darker, and I was holding on to them in case I ever tanned. But this one is definitely too light. I'm gonna get rid of that one. Oh my gosh, this used to be one of my favourite foundations. That is so sad. Goodbye. Maybelline Fit Me, that has got to go. Another Cover FX one. Oh. So any that I think I can kind of make work with bronzer and stuff, I'm going to hold on to. For example, something like this one that is really, really, really light, I'm just not going to be able to use again. Basically, all of the ones that are quite porcelain, so like this one, these two are going to have to go. I think I've literally used this one like once. But I am discovering new things. Like I had this Charlotte Tilbury foundation sitting in the back of my drawer from ages ago. This is in the shade 4, so that will probably actually work for me now. I loved this EX1 foundation, and I do think I have actually got one that's in a slightly darker shade, so I'm going to get rid of shade number 1. The LA Girl Pro Matte in Ivory. The Body Shop, some of these have barely been used. Oh my gosh, I just found my Kat Von D Lock-It foundation in light 44. So interesting fact, Kat Von D is actually now completely separated from her brand. So her brand is actually going to be, I think it's been renamed KVD Vegan Beauty. So maybe I should repurchase this in the right shade, because I bought this ages ago and it is a good foundation. CoverGirl foundation, like look, these have barely been used. Like I've used them a bit, but I used to switch up my foundation so often that a lot of them are just kind of, you know, a quarter of them has been used and that's it. Wow, okay, that one was just a backup. I'm pretty sure this is new. Yep, that is new and has just been sitting in a drawer. Okay, I have 2.0 here. I think I'd probably need 3.0 maybe. Oh my gosh, this Anastasia stick foundation. I literally have used this twice. It is so nice though. I had the shade Porcelain and then clearly just forgot about it, and it was in the back of my drawer. But there is loads of products left. Maybe I should sell that on Depop actually, because you could easily just cut the top off. I've got the Urban Decay Naked Skin foundation in 0.5. Again, I think that's going to be a bit too light, but I don't know where the lid even is. By the way, I refuse to put any of this in the bin unless it is like expired. If it is not expired, I'm gonna force somebody else to use it, because I am not putting all of this into the landfill, because the amount of makeup that I'm gonna get rid of, it kind of scares me a bit how bad it is for the environment. Okay, well, to be fair, with glass bottles you can recycle them, but you can't recycle the plastic lids in most places. I used to love this foundation as well. I've probably got the correct shade somewhere in my brother's room, just like shoved into the wardrobe. I used to love this foundation as well. What have I got? We've got Fair Ivory, Fair Porcelain, and True Ivory. True Ivory actually looks a little bit darker. That looks like it could potentially work, but I'm going to get rid of these two. Again, these are both like barely used. Well, that's not going to work for me anymore. There is another Match Perfection foundation. Clearly I liked this foundation a lot. Cover FX in N25. Maybe that could work. Or was that the shade I used to use? I can't even remember, to be honest. The NYX Total Control foundation in Alabaster. That was like a perfect shade match for me, I think. But I am keeping the shades Vanilla and Buff. That is pretty good going. This Lancome one is going to match me now, so I'm very excited to test that out. I love this foundation as well, the Max Factor Face Finity, but that again is too light, so that's going to go. This is the Rimmel Lasting Radiance foundation, which is pretty much like the remodeled version of the Wake Me Up. This is in light porcelain, but that, okay, right, this is not light porcelain. I'm going to tell you now. But I am going to put this in the giveaway box, because I have got the shade Ivory, which I think matches me a bit better. Oh, these Iconic London sticks are so good as well. These are really similar to the Anastasia one. But again, I think, oh, they're both definitely too light for me. The Milani foundation 00 Light Natural that was always too dark for me, because they kept having to make lighter shades. That would probably work for me now, so I'm going to keep that. So this is what the drawer is now looking like. That will do me nicely for now. I think I'm going to hang on to those because, you know, makeup is my job, so obviously I'm going to keep a lot more than your average person. But these ones I think will actually match my skin tone. Actually looking at this Vanilla, I'm going to get rid of that one. I've actually got rid of more than I've kept, so that's a good start, I guess. Moving on to this drawer. God. So this drawer is like powders, beauty blenders with the overflow of powders, and then foundations. These are the foundations that I use more frequently. However, again, a lot of them now won't match me. By the way, I know that a lot of people are quite disappointed that I now use self-tan, fake tan, and they wish that I would go back to my natural skin colour. To be honest, I don't really think it's that deep. I have never said that there was anything wrong with, you know, being how fair I am naturally, and obviously I rocked my pale skin for, I don't know, like 4 years of my time on YouTube, and then just one day I wanted to try fake tan and see what it was about, and I really like it. It makes me feel more confident, and yeah, that's it really. That's just it. It makes me feel more confident. I literally just do it because I like it. That's it. So I've got my Revlon Colour Stain Buff. This one is like nearly empty, which looks disgusting. Look at that. But now obviously I have my correct shade of this because it's pretty much my favourite foundation of all time. I mean, I would offer this to my best friend Ellie, but would she really want this? I'm not so sure. Maybe if I cleaned it up nicely. I just feel like it's a shame to waste that little bit of product that's still in there, but it's going in the box. I have got two concealers from Too Faced, which are brand new. I've got the shade Swan and I've got the shade Vanilla. I'm hoping that Vanilla is gonna match me now because this is my favourite concealer. And I kept the shade Swan as well because this was for me when I was pale. I think this is the lightest shade. I think I might give this one to one of my friends. This is a Maybelline Stick Foundation in True Ivory. Again, this is too light for me, so that's gonna go. Oh, this was the Morphe powder. I've used it once, I think, for the video. Forgot about it, still in the box, might put that on Depop. The NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. This is the shade Alabaster. Great foundation, I just hit myself in the face with it. This was a really good foundation, but that one is too light. Gonna keep my Marc Jacobs, I'm keeping my NYX ones that I got recently, keeping my Naked Skin, keeping this Flor one. Yeah, so this drawer is kind of more recent foundations. What are these? Revolution F3 and F3.5. Both of these are a little bit too light, so I'm going to get rid of those. Unfortunately, because this has got like a doe foot thing and you kind of put it on your face then put it back in here, I'm not sure what I can do with these. I don't think donation places will take them, and I'm not really sure if anyone would want them. NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop in Vanilla. I will give that a go, see if it works. My Urban Decay All Nighter in 1. Love this foundation. Very sad to be giving it away. This one has literally been used like once. The Infallible 24-hour fresh wear foundation from L'Oreal in Porcelain. L'Oreal True Match in 1N. I now mix the shades 2N and 4N, but this was my old shade. Love, 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 love that foundation. Oh, I've actually got that on today. This was the Cover FX shade that I used, N20. Absolutely gorgeous foundation. Lasts forever on my oily skin. And I really like that it's in a plastic squeezy tube because it was really easy to travel with. Also, it's quite small, so it was just really good to like chuck in my makeup bag. Bare Minerals in 04 Golden Fair. That is great for adding a bit of extra coverage. I'm obviously keeping all of my recent ones. The ones that I use on a daily basis are up there on top. It's pretty much my Revlon Colour Stay and my L'Oreal True Match. I switch between those on a daily basis. I'm keeping the Charlotte Tilbury one because it is one of the most beautiful foundations I've ever tried. The Airbrush Flawless Foundation in shade 4. I've got a couple of the Beauty Blender foundations. I've got 130, 160, and then I did have 210 in here. You know what? I think I'm just going to keep 210. This is actually a really nice foundation. I have got a Revlon Colour Stay in 150 Buff that I've literally used once. I don't know why I opened this one before I finished my other one, but that I will be giving to Ellie. I've also got my lightening and darkening drops from the Body Shop in here. Oh, is that mold? That does not smell good. Oh man. This is the problem. Like, I've got too much makeup. I know that's such a first world problem. Like, literally, I'm so lucky, but so much of it just sits in a drawer like this, barely used, and then it goes off. That's gonna have to go in the bin. The lightning drops smell fine though. And I've got all of my face powders. I've got Jeffree Star. I've got my Revlon ones. Patrick Star. This is a big boy. Look at the size of this for storage. Mental. I don't know why I just smelt it, but I'm gonna keep all of these because most of them are just translucent. What's this? Oh, the Morphe Fluidity foundation. Again, used this once in a video, I think. Actually, it was actually too light for me back then. I think it was anyway. I didn't really like this foundation, so I'm gonna put that on deeper. Oh, I bought this in America. The Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation, powder foundation. Actually, no, I think I used it once. Also gonna put that on Depop. Beauty Blender foundation in 110. Goodbye. My Sephora powder foundation. I used to freaking love that. Ah, I remember I bought this ages ago. This was the Maybelline, the British version of the Superstay foundation in 010 Ivory. At the time, that was too dark, but that looks like it could work for me now. If anyone was around on my channel when I used to use the NYC Smooth Skin Loose Face Powder, let me know down below because you were an OG. This is just an old container that I put some of the RCMA translucent powder in. But, one sec, let me just get the... What is in this? I've just got a load of eyelashes in here, apparently. Did not even know they were in here. Face powders. Charlotte Tilbury one, which is the best powder ever. Nabla one, which I use on a daily basis recently. Flormar powder, which I will hold on to. Oh, I've also got the Maybelline Urban Cover Foundation. I really like that. Then I've just got a ton of beauty blenders. I've got these mini ones by Tweezerman. Even though they look really cute, I'm not really going to use them. What can you even do with old beauty blenders? Because can you recycle these? Obviously I don't mean give them to someone else, but are they recyclable? Oh my god, who remembers silicone sponges? Remember when the silly sponge was like a thing and everyone was like, oh my god, this is game changing? Definitely wasn't. Oh, but they feel so nice. I've just got this urge to just cut one of them open. Also to bite one. Is that just me being really weird? Maybe another day. Well, okay, the giveaway pile is definitely growing. So that was my foundations. I think I did pretty good. I know I've still got way too many, but at least I've actually got rid of the ones that I definitely won't use now. Primers and concealers. To be honest, most of these primers I use. I do switch it up quite a lot with my primers on a daily basis. My dad bought me this from Sephora in France probably about 5 or 6 years ago. So I'm going to get rid of that because I don't really use it. It's a bit too slippery for me. This Revolution one, I tried the other day. And I think mine might have gone bad because it just would not soak into my skin. You know what? Most of these I actually use. I haven't used this one in ages, so I'm going to get rid of that. This Milk makeup one I definitely haven't used in ages, so that can go. Same with this Lottie London one. I haven't used that in ages. Yeah, to be honest, most of these I actually use. Oh, wait, what's this? Right, this one is the NARS Super Radiance Booster. I'm not really going to use that because it will make me look too oily, so that's going to go. This Milani touch-up stick I don't use either. And I'm slowly trying to work my way through them, so that can go in here. I will sort these sponges out at some point if somebody tells me if I can recycle them or not, because I don't just want to chuck them in the bin if I can recycle them. Oh, maybe I should like cut them open and do a video about it, or like, oh my god, I want to get like a microscope. I've seen people do microscope videos where they see like their makeup and stuff up close. We move back to concealers. These Maybelline eraser ones I love. The Florence by Mills one is recent. This Tarte Shape Tape is actually pretty much empty. I don't know why this is still in here. Goodbye my lover, goodbye my friend. Which means, Ellie, if you're watching this, if you would like it, you can have my other Tarte Shape Tape, which is in the shade Fair, which has got quite a lot left in it. If you would like it, let me know. Okay, these ones, I've got a Kat Von D one, which is in L5 Neutral. I've also got L7, so I'm going to get rid of this one. Revolution Fast Base Concealer in C1. That is not reusable because it's got a sponge on it, but it will go in here anyway. Oh my gosh, I love this L'Oreal Infallible Concealer. Obviously this shade is too dark for me. I bought it as like a contour shade. I don't think I have the correct shade for me, but that is such a good concealer. I might have to repurchase it. Okay, I'm not going to repurchase it because I don't need any more concealers clearly at the moment. The Collection Lasting Perfection in Extra Fair can go. Oh, this used to be my favourite concealer. To be honest, Fair would probably work because it does oxidize quite a lot. Oh, interesting. Look, I've got the Wake Me Up and the Lasting Radiance. I'm convinced it's the same product. At the time, the Wake Me Up one was too dark, but I'm going to hold on to that because it will work. I'm holding on to a white concealer in case I ever want to do like a Halloween makeup look. Ah, this was a good concealer as well. The Barry M All Night Long. That is going to go. The NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop in Alabaster. That can go. You know what? This Revlon one is actually brand new, so that can be put in a giveaway. This one will be too light. I remember at the time this Milani one was too dark, so I will keep that now. The EX1 concealer can go. Lasting Perfection in Cool Medium 2. May as well hold on to that. This Bourjois concealer was so good in the shade Ivory. This one again is also brand new. Oh look, there's another one here. Revlon Colour Stay in Fair. That can go because I do have an updated shade now. The LA Girl Pro Conceal. That can go. I don't use it. That one can go in the bin because that's about 4 years old. Bye. Ah, the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer. Again, that used to be one of my favourites. This is the shade Fair Warm. I think I've got Light, the Morphe Fluidity Concealer. That can join the party. Ah, I used to love this Topshop concealer. That is in the shade Oat. Makeup Revolution Supersize Camouflage Concealer in C1. The Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer can also go. This one I don't really like anyway, so that can go. That was such a good concealer. Goodbye. Ooh. There's a Laura Geller one in here. This Primark one looks like it's separated, but that is too light. Right, so the ones that oh my gosh. I've got a NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in here. This is in the shade Light 1, and I know for a fact that is too light for me now. That is actually gutting. But you know what? I may as well put it to good use. Someone else who, you know, would actually use it can have it. Right, so the ones that I am keeping, my Maybelline ones, my Charlotte Tilbury, I've got a Revolution one, the Collection ones, a Flormar concealer. I'm going to get rid of the Topshop one because it is too light. I am going to keep my Fenty one because I did use it the other day. And I guess I could mix it with stuff. I've got a Maybelline Fit Me concealer, some more from Revolution. I think that's the shade C3, 6.5. You know what, C3 is actually too light. This one from Essence is a bit too light as well, so that can go. And this box is looking a bit like this. This is looking a bit like this. That is much better, so that can go back in. So I think the last section that I'm going to do today before this video literally is like an hour long, I'm gonna do my bronzers and blushes just because that drawer is becoming increasingly hard to close. That was my phone, not yours. This drawer is just a nightmare. It always just gets stuck. So last time you saw me do a declutter, I organised my drawer. The organisation system, as you can see, has just gone completely out the window. This was a palette that came in the Glossy Box Advent Calendar. Gorgeous palette, really nice, but I'm gonna have to be drastic because I'm not going to use this on a daily basis because I've got so many other bronzers that I need to get through, so I am going to give that to a new loving home. These Revolution Pro palettes, I really like that peach one. These are good contour shades. You know what, I'll keep both of those. Let me just put them to one side. Huda Beauty, absolutely love this stuff. This is the problem, right? There's so much stuff that I love in here that I just don't want to get rid of most of it. This Diego Dalla Palma palette is gorgeous. I used it recently in a video, but it's just not, like, I just don't need it because I've got so many other contour palettes. Goodbye. This one from Benefit is really nice actually, so I'm gonna hold on to that. I've got Imogen's palette. Again, I just don't really use this anymore. I feel so bad for saying that, but it's just been sitting in my drawer since my last declutter. I will hold on to it. Might potentially try and use this in more upcoming videos. Okay, this is brand new. That can go. This is also brand new. That can go. Benefit Complexionista. This was a great little palette, but I only really used these two shades. Didn't really use the concealers. Didn't really use these two. If any brands are watching, please make like contour palettes this slim and travel friendly rather than making them this thick, because that really bulks up your drawers. This palette is absolutely gorgeous, but this highlighter is a little bit too dark for me and it's just not very travel friendly. I've got that other one, which is the Bronze Squad. Okay, right, I just got this off of my shelf. I've been using this one to contour my nose recently. If I could swap this blush, Gold Rush, for California, this would be my perfect Benefit palette. California is my favorite Benefit blush. I don't even have like the original version. I don't need two big Benefit palettes, so the Pink Squad is gonna have to go. Bronze Squad, you can stay because I actually use that quite a lot. It's mostly the palettes that take up the room, isn't it? Oh, this MAC palette is so heavy. Like, I wish you could feel that. I think I might just take some of the shades that I like out of this and put them into this magnetic palette. Oh, I feel so bad because I got to go to MAC and make up this palette, but I don't really use it because it's quite bulky and heavy. Guys, this drawer was so heavy that it is starting to bend in the middle and break. I've got two Morphe palettes here. This one is really nice, but again, I just don't need it. Gorgeous blush palette, gorgeous blush shades, but again, palettes just take up so much space. I found another magnetic palette. Maybe I can put my MAC shades into this and then get rid of the bulky casing. The NYX contour palette, I just don't use it anymore. Someone tell me why I opened two Benefit Hulas at the same time. This one was in use and I've opened another one and have been using that for ages since. That's gonna go because I don't need two of them on the go at the same time. I'm gonna hold on to Hula Light just in case. Oh my god, this MAC limited edition palette was my favourite. I'm gonna get this back out and start using it. It was from the Shiny Pretty Things collection. That is actually a gorgeous palette. Okay, this was a Kat Von D blush and highlight palette, but the highlighter is actually a bit too like pinky for my liking, and the blush is pretty but it's a bit too dark for me, so I'm actually gonna have to get rid of that, which is a shame. NARS Orgasm can stay. All of these ones are ones that I use quite regularly. This Berry M blush palette is really pretty, but because I've got so many other blushes, I'm just going to get rid of it because I've only used it once. This Milani kind of blushy bronzy thing is gorgeous. It looks so pretty, but I don't really know what I use it for, so that can go. I need to start switching up my blush more often. That is gorgeous. I'm going to put that in my makeup bag. This is Milani Bella Bellini. It looks so similar to Luminoso, so that can go because it's brand new. Okay, that is way too bright for me, so that can go. I have got MAC Warm Soul and Naturally Flawless. To me, these both look like bronzers. I know they are blushes, but I'm going to keep both of them and try and use them. What is back here? There is an e.l.f. palette, which I know I'm not really going to use. That's too light for me now, so that can go. I can see a new product down here. If it's new, it's gonna go. There's also a really pretty bronzer from Kiko, but I've got so many backups of Kiko bronzers that that's gonna go as well. This was the Winky Lux Coffee Bronzer. This Revolution palette was so gorgeous, but I just have not touched it since my last declutter, so that can go. There's another new product back here. This one never got around to using, so that can go. Palette that is nearly used up. Should probably try and do Project Pan with that, so I'm gonna keep it. Really nice. Used it once in a video, not used it since. This is a backup of my Kiko Marble Bronzer, so I'm not gonna get rid of that because it's my favorite. This CYO product, it's kind of like one of those bronzer and highlighters, which I don't really use, so that's also gonna go. Jesus Christ, there's so much. Benefit Gold Rush. There's a little mini NARS blush. Oh, that's so cute. What are you? Gooey. Gulu. Gulu? Gluey? Do you think I know what I'm talking about? That blush is beautiful. That is Kiko. Oh, I see something that I'm not going to use again. This, because it's like a highlightery blush and it's a bit too dark. How many Milani Luminosos do I own? Oh, do I spy a sleek palette that I haven't used in forever? Yes, I do. Look at this, guys. I filled up a whole one of these big boxes. Ah, there's a Zoeva palette in here. I just know that I'm not gonna use this, most likely. I think I used this once, kept it in case I was gonna use it again, but haven't used it since, so that can go. We've made a lot of space. I've got rid of a lot. Revolution Ultra Contour Palette. Mine looks disgusting. And to be honest, like, I don't really use this because, if anything, Revolution's newer products are better than this one. This was one of the videos that kind of kickstarted my channel, I think, because I did a video comparing this to the Anastasia one. Even though I didn't own the Anastasia one, but that video did really well. Ah, good memories, but this is probably like way out of date. The things that are left in here, my bronzers, I've got Rimmel, I've got L'Oreal, I've got The Body Shop, I've got another L'Oreal one, Too Faced, CYO, my Urban Decay ones, which I do use. I've used this Lottie London one recently. Huda Beauty, this MAC bronzer, which I love. Right, so I know that it's not perfect. Okay, it's actually like massively far from perfect. And I still need to organise everything because it's all just shoved in here. But I'm not going to do that in this video because we're running out of time. I'm going to organise these two palettes, but I have got rid of a lot today. This is what I'm now left with, which I'm going to go through and sort out into different boxes for friends, family, charity, giveaways, used giveaways, women's refuge, everything like that. I think that's good for like an hour and a half. So I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. I know that I've still got a long way to go and I didn't get rid of tons, but I have, like, I can't pick up the box, it's too heavy. I have got rid of a lot. I've made a good start. I've still got tons of drawers left to do. If you would like me to film them, please let me know. Obviously I've got like highlighters, eyeshadow palettes, eyeshadows, mascaras, lashes, lips. Like, there's still so much that I haven't sorted, and the idea of having to sort out all of my possessions is actually extremely daunting. But if you would like me to continue with these moving vlogs, decluttering vlogs, whatever, then let me know. If you did enjoy this, give it a thumbs up. I'm sorry to those of you that are really neat and found this probably very stressful, because I'm not a neat person in the slightest. If you want to stay tuned with my whole like moving journey and everything, make sure to subscribe if you're not already. Turn on my notifications. If you do give this a massive thumbs up, that would really help me out actually, because I think it does something good with the algorithm. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.